So, so yeah, let me just go through what I'm trying to solve and like give some quick examples. So, essentially, I've been doing this for almost 3 years, and the idea that I've like when I was in the AI space, I kind of found that everything is in fragmented kind of like echo chambers or their own silos in a way. And so even no matter like like despite the like bravado of like open source, they still need a moat to create a business plan. So that incentivizes these echo chambers. So I've been thinking of a way to incentivize something that's a bit like more open and so more interoperable as a result. And what this requires is like a very like kind of like a breaking down of like what machine learning is, what are all these things that are happening with agents and stuff. Can you break that down to simple things without changing what we already have, without adding new languages or new terms? So essentially I created like this network of Python objects where everything can like work out of the box. And so like some examples of this is like reusability, where maybe you want to have like different people running off of a base model. So you might have a base model that's like very large, maybe very unscalable. And so you would have perhaps up to a certain layer, and then like after that, you would have these personal adapters. So we're obviously going into the adapter economy with like LoRa and like all these other new things that are coming out. Also, like what HiveMind's doing, like they fraction large language models vertically. So right, if you want a multi-trillion parameter model and maybe you don't want it on just one machine, you want to fragment that. So like this whole like these are two examples of something that's like really uh, shows like the importance of like reusability and just having those options of like who's out there. So essentially what I've been like developing the past like year or 2 years, I've been off-chain and on-chain stuff. So with our on-chain stuff, basically you have like a namespace that essentially is the name of your module. So like if I go into like here, I want to, let's say I'll have like, I'll be in the command terminal here. So I'll do modules and then let's see what's running. So it's going to be connected to the chain. And then right now, these are all the modules that are running on chain. Right now, this is the URL it's like an access node to that. So I can connect this from anywhere. Like I can go to my local laptop and here, right? And then I could do the same thing, modules. Oh, I spelled that wrong. So the idea is that for anyone to essentially have this, like, it takes a bit longer, but there we go. And so anyone can connect to this, right? And so like we want people to be able to share and upload whatever they want. And so you might ask, hey, what is a module? So I'll go through an example of what like a module is. So I'm gonna go to like, let's say a demo. Or yeah, so demo. So this is like basically what it is. In fact, this is actually quite an old one. So all you need is this, really. Like, so if I do like, let's say, like basically the path of the module is based on like where it is in this like folder here. So if I wanted to add a new module like demo 2, I would just rename this to demo 2. And this doesn't have to be renamed because it's everything that's in the folder with respect to the root directory. So if I want to play with it, I could do like demo hey, calling like this hey function here. And so it says, what up fam? Sure. I can change it a bit if I want. I could do like bro and then fam, and then I can like do this. So obviously this is a simple example, but like I have like other modules that essentially like connects to like basically anything. To Stability AI, I have a transformers one that connects to Hugging Face where you can fine tune it. Like you can basically add whatever you can in Python, and that was the whole idea of this whole abstraction here. Like all you would need to do is just literally just do this, and then everything else is handled for you. So in order to deploy this to the network, I just do C register whatever the name is, and then so demo, I can give it a tag, I don't know, bro. And so it will basically create a unique name, demo bro, and it will see, okay, so it doesn't have it, like it creates a new key that's with that name. And all right, it's served. All right, so let me see if it actually works. So let me just go to a random computer here and see modules, and then let me filter demo, and then make sure the network is subspace. So I'm filtering the model. I just deployed it. Like hopefully it connects, but yeah. So let's see here. All right, sick. So it's there. So now if I want to call it, let me call a function. So call demo bro. I don't know. Let me get, what was the function I called? Hey? Yeah, hey. All right. So if I call hey, it should return the how I would call it locally. And so this is all through the command line, right? Like, and so the idea is that you can do, oh, I guess that didn't work. Let me call an actual one that works. So I think, let me see, data set. So essentially, like the idea is that for you to connect to these remotely as you would like locally. So if I think I have a side by side screen here. So here's like another way you can view it. Like basically, I have all these modules preloaded here, so it just scrapes the folder and it just like chooses whatever you want. So like this is a Hugging Face data set, and so it's running Squad V2. And so if I register it, it will register that to the network. And so anyone can like connect to that and call samples from it. And so like essentially this allows for anyone to connect and collaborate. And you know, we have a chain system as well. So like as you deploy it to this network, we work on a voting system. So like if I go into like what that really is, so you have these modules in a network, and then so they each have a stake, and they all start at zero, right? Like this is a fair launch, so like we all start at zero, and then we all just vote for each other, and you know, as we accrue value or tokens, like depending on, that can be value if you want to consider it as that, but depending on the tokens you get, you can then like vote for other modules as well, and then that distribution of votes every like block time, so every 2 seconds or 4 seconds, you get a token, and that just goes on. And obviously, you can have halving if you want, like you can add those features in. We kind of like want the users to have like we have a proposal mechanism where users propose state changes. So like changing like the block time or like the emissions, and if enough people vote on it, then they essentially get that change goes past. Like that doesn't require a human in the loop. And ideally, we want to maybe have that voting system for more general things. So yeah, that's kind of it. Just creating this like connective layer of like APIs, and we're technically right now in testnet, and we're going to mainnet next maybe week or 2 weeks. We're gonna have a vote that transitions our balance sheet from the testnet to the mainnet. If people are cool with it, then like we could keep the tokens we get in the testnet. But if not, then you know we can start a fresh, fair new launch. Another thing I want to mention, the last thing is probably the forking mechanism. So this is we try to be fork resistant because by encouraging forks, and so we do this because we believe that like a truly open economy won't be just one token. It's going to be a set of different tokens that each maybe have a different philosophy. And so having this interoperable kind of like modular tool set, similar to how Polkadot and Cosmos let you build blockchains, we want you to help build your own like, you know, open communities. And so we'll be building a community, but you know, we'll have like, you know, functions for you to create your own like chain without knowing Rust or anything. So we have those tools as well, and obviously we'll have connections to Ethereum. We have like Ethereum modules that can help us actually create these automatic bridges. Not even AI is required. Like you can use like off-chain bridges that are trusted by peers who want to get from assets from one chain to another. We can also use AI to essentially add some spice to that. But you know, there's the options are endless basically, and that's it. Oh,
Cool. So I'll take your slides down here. So we'll pause now to see if we have any written questions in the chat for you. If you want to submit a question in writing, you can do that on the stage tab under chat, and I can read it out loud so that when we have the replay available, people will know what the question that we asked was.
Yep.
not just the answer. Okay. Yeah, so I could throw a question to you. What kind of like community of builders do you have like collaborating here?
Yeah, so right now we're really early. So we have around 100 people, and we're actually still technically in like pre-mine slash like I don't know. We're kind of like figuring out the chain, making sure things work. We are trying to attract like builders mostly who develop in Python and who want to publish something and even share their things without having to go it's obviously you don't even need to know any cryptography. We create the key for you. This doesn't require any Google sign-in. All you need to do is run commune as a Python package, like install the repo, and then you can share your module and connect with people. And hopefully, this is the goal, is when we create an Ethereum bridge, we do have liquidity interest from like, some people who are willing to like invest in the project just through these bridges. So that might create a feedback loop where people are mining value from the commune network, but also converting that into Ethereum and then converting that into cash, right? So that we want to make that really quick, where people don't have to go through the commune. Like commune is like a conduit to just building what you want, exposing it, and then we'll give you tokens to it. And obviously, one issue is that Sybil attacks is that we want to make it really easy to add modules to the network. Like it takes 2 seconds to do it. And so the issue there is someone can create a loop and then create a bunch of fake modules that don't do much. So having validators that validate like the application, or even users to use like basically to use the stake they get, or maybe delegate their stake to essentially choose which modules should stay on the network is what, like, that's kind of like the next like maybe few weeks to month vision. So getting that bridge is important for getting people to see like, oh shit, I can turn this into value.
Right on, cool. Is there anything else that you maybe had to skim over that you want to give a little more context on? You have a couple of minutes.
Yeah. So I want to basically go maybe like in terms of like the namespace. So let me actually just deploy it. Let me quickly go through just deploying. I have so many tabs open. So I'm just going to go to demo.
You've got about a minute, by the way. So
yeah. So I'll just deploy this one. So I'll do demo C. So this is, notice how this
present if you want us to be able to see.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no, all good. So it's a waste of time. All right, so yeah, okay. So demos. So if I just do serve, this will basically just serve it. Right now it serves it locally. So there's local namespace and there's like a global there's like a commune namespace. So if I just want to like call it locally, like I could just do like see what my modules are, and then I don't know, I could just do local, and then it will basically show me, all right, I got all these demos here. Demo C is one of them. So I just deployed that, right? So I want to see what the logs are there. So all right, so now it's running here. So let me get, okay, I'm gonna call demo, and then let me get the info of it, because I don't know what the fuck it is. Maybe. Oh shit, it's called something else. Oh wait, no, it's demo C. Sometimes
okay.
if you deploy something that doesn't work,
sorry, I do have to cut you off now because
right, sure, no worries.
Yeah, we're at 15 minutes, so we have one more presenter. But thank you very much for that, and I'm glad we got to see even a little demo. Well, thanks, Al.